Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something that might sound a little weird. Every single person you look up to online, the ones making money, getting booked out, building audiences, and running client businesses that actually work, all these people use at least one of these following methods. There are three fundamental methods that they use, and you can use to get a client from 0 up to 100,000 per month. Even then, these methods are still relevant. I am not saying those are the only ones that exist, but this is the foundation you can use right now to get your first or next client. I'll show you how they really work, and how not to mess them up, and how to use content to make the other compound. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most hated one, cold outreach. Now here's the thing, nobody tells you. Cold outreach isn't just about sending hundreds of copy-pasted DMs and praying someone replies. There's good outreach, and then there's bad outreach. Bad outreach looks like spamming people with generic messages that rarely works and just burns you out. Good outreach is about building trust and showing people you actually understand their problem and that you can help solve it. When you do this well, you don't have to send hundreds or thousands of messages. In fact, you can land clients with way fewer messages, sometimes 10 to 100 times less, by using smart moves like sending personalized Loom videos that show you get their struggle, offering free work up front to prove your value, starting conversations without pushing for calls right away. The goal isn't to flood inboxes. It's to make the right people trust you to be able to solve the problem they are experiencing. A lot of people start outreach and then stop because they don't see any results. But the truth is, outreach is a skill, and like any skill, and you get better at it the more you do it. Plus, early on, cold outreach is the cheapest way. The problem is, it's time-consuming. Here's what usually happens as you practice. You realize people get tens of similar messages to yours. You discover that people just want to know if you can solve their problem. You create out a message that doesn't feel like a pitch, but like genuine help, and much more. So it's ideal to start with, but as you scale, people tend to add more methods of client acquisition. Now let's talk about ads. Everyone loves the idea of ads. Set it up once, pour in some money, and leads magically show up. But here's the problem. Ads don't save a bad offer. It's like pouring gasoline into a non-existent fire. Many have burned thousands, 3K, 5K, even 10K, just to realize no one actually wants what they're selling. It's painful. So should you avoid ads? Not necessarily, but only use them after you've validated your offer manually. Here's the proven way. Use cold outreach. Close a few clients. Get them results. Once you have a few high-ticket clients, then ads may be a good idea. Now here's the one most people sleep on. Content. Everyone thinks they need to be an influencer to post content or that they have to post every day for a year before it has any impact. But that's not true. Content doesn't need to go viral to bring in clients. It just needs to hit the right person at the right time. Sometimes, a piece of content gets just a handful of views but generates multiple qualified calls that can turn into thousands of dollars. Content is what turns cold strangers into warm leads. It does the heavy lifting for you. Most people just post tips or motivational quotes. That doesn't move the needle because it doesn't build trust and establish your authority. Here's what actually works. Hyper-specific how-to videos. Solve one small, painful problem. Not how to be productive, but how to stop doom scrolling in the first 10 minutes of your day. How I solved X. They want proof you've been through the same thing. Here's how I signed my first 3 clients using this DM system. Mini client case studies. Even if it's small. We helped Sarah sign her first client in 14 days. Builds so much more trust than we help people grow online. Behind the scenes breakdowns. Show your process. Let people feel like they're getting insider access. Each of these is a different format and serves a different purpose. Because this content, like mine, even though it's low effort, connects with the viewer. You probably feel like this was made just for you, and that's because it is. But realize how different this is from the classic MrBeast type of content. You don't have to pick one method. You can combine them. And when you combine them with content, they multiply. Let me show you a few examples. Cold outreach plus content. You DM someone. They click your profile. They see 5 to 10 videos that solve the exact problem they have. Now they see you as authority and trust you. You attract, educate, and convert. Content doesn't replace outreach or ads, but it amplifies both. So look, outreach is fast but takes a lot of time. Ads are scalable but take a lot of money. Content is slow but compounding. They all work, but they work best when you layer them. Start with outreach. Use it to test and validate. Add content to build trust. Use it to warm people up and attract inbound leads. Then scale with ads once your offer is tight and your message is clear. No need to rush anywhere. Rather go slow and take the right next step. And know that as a beginner, mastering one method is important before moving on to another. It's better to focus on one effective strategy than to try 3 different ones and not get results with any of them. If this clicked with you, I've dropped something for you in the description. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.